What's up? It's your boy Steve83 and I'm back with another react. You know what I'm saying? Today we're reacting to this young boy off this whole entire family, man. This is a story that's got many tips and turns, dips and dives. Their son's funeral was 13 days after they were shot. It's a confusing case going on. But I know one thing. These people crazy. Let's get into it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me if you've ever been through anything like this in your life. Explain that to me in the comments. Let's go.
Fuck y'all niggas, man. I'm still cold stuck.
Get in there, yeah.
Okay, what he must
fuck
play
the
for?
Steelers, man. Fuck y'all niggas.
Oh, they on some football.
I think about all my problems. I stay in my own lane. I'm saying the training.
Can't do that.
Allegheny Middle
I had to
School
cut that
and
out.
Alderdice High School.
You hear that?
The organ plays Amazing Grace. A mother clutches her tissue. A child fidgets in the pew. Then 20 shots crack through the air. Bodies hit the floor. Not from prayer, from bullets. Destiny of Faith Church, Brighton Heights, Pittsburgh. The funeral for 20-year-old John James Hornezes Jr. has just become a crime scene. Outside, 6 people bleed on church steps. Inside, 300 mourners scramble for exits that
Oh my God! He blown them down at the... What? This is crazy! What?
Death. But this massacre? It started 13 days earlier.
Oh my God!
October 15th, 10:05 p.m. A Sunoco gas station on Cedar Avenue. Betty Jean Averett, 59, grandmother of 7, stood at her usual bus stop. Jacqueline Mahalik, 33, rushed
And see, this is what upsets me. These are the ones that catch the strays, man. These are the ones right here that catch the strays.
on her way to work, the late shift. They had 12 seconds left to live. The men with guns weren't aiming for them. Betty and Jacqueline just happened to exist in the space between hatred and revenge.
My.
By the time the shooting stopped, 3 bodies lay on North Side concrete. One of them was John Hornezes Jr., the same man whose funeral would become the next target. James Hornezes Jr. turned 20 in August. His godmother...
This is sad. And again, guys, man, we make sure we give you a hotline to call if you're facing any crisis. We got a crisis intervention hotline, should be popping up at the top of your screen. If you need any mental health, make sure you contact someone.
Paige Davis called him ambitious, trying to find his way. But the North Side streets had their own plans for young men.
He's a banger.
October 14th,
He's one of them members.
24 hours before the shooting, Hornezes posted a photo with friends, smiling, throwing up hand signs. The caption's gone now, but investigators would later trace the digital footprints of an escalating conflict. The beef started over territory. Who could stand where? Who controlled which corners? Typical street politics that usually ended with posturing, maybe a fistfight. Sharon Troutman, 19. Jalone Hines, 21. Samuel Pez, 30. These names meant nothing to Betty Averett or Jacqueline Mahalik. But on October 15th, their paths would cross in the worst way possible. Text messages recovered later showed the tension building, threats traded, locations shared. Someone mentioned the Sunoco on Cedar. Someone else said they'd handle it. By 10 p.m. on October 15th, 2 groups of armed men converged on a gas station. A grandmother waited for her bus. A mother hurried to work. The stage was set for Pittsburgh's next tragedy. All the players in position, and nobody knew the script would be written in blood. October 13th, Friday night. A house party on Federal Street turns ugly. Words exchanged between John Hornezes Jr.'s crew and men connected to Sharon Troutman. Witnesses later told police it started over a girl. Or maybe money.
Over a girl, man. If we're still out here in 2025 fighting over women, I thought we lost that stuff in the 80s, man.
Or maybe just because. Watch your back, someone said. This ain't over. October 14th, Saturday morning. Screenshots showed text messages flying. Instagram stories deleted minutes after posting. One message recovered by investigators, "See you at the spot." The Sunoco station on Cedar Avenue had become neutral ground. Both groups bought gas there. Both groups knew the cameras worked. Both groups thought that meant
So
safety.
what do they just come there and like everybody write it down? All right, this gas station right here, we all got to use it. So we gonna draw a line right there. Ain't nobody going bang over here. We're not gonna play ball over here at this gas station. Yeah, I don't know how they decide that.
Surveillance footage shows Jalone Hines at pump 3. 5 hours later, John Hornezes Jr. fills up at the same pump. They don't cross paths. Not yet. But something had shifted. The threats weren't just words anymore. Someone posted a photo of a gun. Someone else responded with a location pin.
Now listen.
The Sunoco station. By Saturday evening, both sides had made a decision.
You young bulls out there right now, man, don't y'all know that anything you do on that phone, that's how they catching y'all, man. They catch your phone, then they look what your phone pings on a tower, then they look at the stoplights all around that tower, and they catch your car, then they got your tags, and
they'd settle this face to face. What they didn't calculate.
Learn from your
mistakes.
mistakes.
Use gas stations too. Innocent people wait at bus stops. Innocent people die in crossfire. 9:45 p.m.
It is what it is.
Security footage shows John Hornezes Jr.'s group arriving at Sunoco. 3 men exit a vehicle. They walk toward the store, but don't go inside.
That's what I
They're
hate. We
waiting.
ain't even at the gas
9:50
station.
p.m. A black Hyundai Tucson appears on Cedar Avenue. It passes the gas station once, twice. The driver, later
Where's the
identified
gas
as Samuel
station?
Pegas, is checking who's there. 9:55 p.m. Betty Jean Averett reaches her bus stop. She sets down her purse, checks the posted schedule. The number 54 should arrive at 10:08. She has 13 minutes to wait. She'll never get on that bus. 9:58 p.m.
Wow.
Jacqueline Mahalik walks quickly past the Giant Eagle, past the bus shelter. She glances at her phone, running late for her 10:15 shift. She has 17 minutes to live. 10 p.m. The Hyundai returns. This time it stops. Sharon Troutman sits in the passenger seat. In the back, another man investigators haven't named. All 3 are armed. 10:02. Someone shouts across the gas station lot. The surveillance audio is unclear, but witnesses heard. What's up now? What happens next takes 57 seconds.
Those are the global let's get it on words. If you hear a mug in a parking lot yelling at somebody, what's up now? You better duck, dive, and get up out of there, man, because something's getting ready to go down. Watch.
Hornezes and his 2 associates stand near the park adjacent to the station. They draw weapons. The men in the Hyundai respond. 23 shell casings will be recovered. 2 different calibers. Multiple shooters firing from both sides.
From 3
Betty
different
Averett
sticks.
doesn't run. Maybe she freezes. Maybe she doesn't understand what's happening until the
You ever
bullets
been in a
reach her.
position where
Jacqueline-
fear freezes you? You ever did that? I have. Well, I ain't freeze up, but I've been in one of them situations where I've seen somebody freeze up. I see somebody freeze up and wouldn't move a muscle. You know, I got on the bow there, though.
Mahalik
I
is caught in the
can't
middle,
stick around with
walking between the shooters and their targets.
Oh, man.
Wrong place, wrong second, wrong everything. 10:03. The shooting stops. The Hyundai speeds north. One of Hornezes' associates stumbles to a white Hyundai
Rip.
Palisade with Florida plates and flees.
Oh,
John
no.
Hornezes Jr. lies dying in
That's
the
him.
parking lot. Betty Averett has collapsed at the bus stop. Jacqueline Mahalik is on the sidewalk, blood pooling beneath her. The first 911 call comes at 10:05. There's people shot everywhere. Oh my God, they're not moving. Allegheny General Hospital sits 1 block away. The
It
ambulances
ain't
arrive
funny,
in under
but the
2
way
minutes.
they said that was funny.
It won't matter. 3 people are dead. A 4th, Jalone Hines, has a bullet in his leg but will survive. The war has just begun. And somewhere across Pittsburgh, the
Do
men
your
who
homework
pulled
on
triggers
that.
are already planning their next moves. Because on these streets, every killing demands an answer. Every funeral becomes a target. In 13 days, they'll prove it.
Wow.
Question
13
for you.
days later
You're
after
pumping
this.
gas when bullets start flying. Do you run and risk becoming a target? Hide and hope they don't see you? Or try to help the wounded and risk your own life? North
That's what I
Side
would
streets
do.
have their own definition
That's
of
what I would do.
unacceptable. And they're already planning their response.
Where's number
October
D at? What's the
16th,
last option?
Sunday morning.
Giddy
Mayor Ed
up out
Gainey
there.
stands at the
I'm
corner
running.
of Cedar and Stockton.
I ain't standing there when people
Behind
shooting.
him, bloodstains
No
still
way.
mark the concrete. I couldn't imagine what that feels like. Gainey says about the victims' families, "We need the entire city to come together to deal with this violence."
I know it's tough right now. I know that there's a lot of families and friends who are hurting right now.
Yes. Preach.
And I know a lot of them feel like they should do something.
Yes.
So I want to to do something with you.
Yeah, come on.
I want you to call and tell us what you know.
Nah. See, now
I
that's
need
where
you
we
to
gotta
speak
stop.
up and say something.
I thought we was going somewhere.
They shot up the sanctuary today.
We're obviously not thinking the same thing here, right? You know what I mean? We're obviously
His
not.
words echo across Pittsburgh, but in certain neighborhoods, different conversations are happening. Conversations about revenge, about who needs to pay, about which funeral to target. The Hornezes family starts
They
planning John's
targeting-
service.
Oh,
They know the
my.
danger. They've heard the threats. They'll ask for police protection. They'll get officers who go to the wrong address. 13 days from
Man. What? These are the people we have protecting us, ladies and gentlemen. They went to the wrong address.
now,
I'm gonna
6
leave
more
it at
people
that.
will bleed on Pittsburgh concrete.
6
this
more
time
people.
on church steps. This
On a
time
church.
during a funeral. Because in this story, every death demands another. Every funeral becomes a
All
target.
right.
And innocent lives, they're just collateral damage in a war that nobody wins.
Listen, man, even in the Bible, even the big man up top gets revenge. And he says revenge is his.
October 16th, 4 a.m., Pittsburgh Police Major Crimes Unit transforms the North Side into a grid. 50 detectives, 6 different surveillance systems to analyze. One goal: find the shooters before they kill again. Detective David O'Neill leads the video team. Sunoco cameras, Giant Eagle security, ATM footage from across the street, traffic cameras at Stockton and Cedar, even a Ring doorbell from a house 2 blocks away. Every angle tells part of the story. The black Hyundai Tucson
2
appears in
blocks
frame
away.
after
Now, what are you offering up? Like, I know police come around and knock. Hey, did you see anything? See anything? I mean, if I had something hot on my camera, I'd keep it. I'd tell them later, maybe. Maybe not ever, probably. But I'd keep it aired on the YT. Why they get to be lucrative off everything?
frame, license plate visible. Within hours, they identify the owner, Samuel Pegas, 30 years old.
Oh,
Criminal
shit.
history
See?
includes
I
a
told you how it was
2013
going to
drug
happen. I called it, didn't I? I called it. I said they're going to get that. They got you off the license plate reader, and look at here. Samuel Pegas, or however you say. I probably butchered that. Let's see how it sounds.
Samuel Pegas, 30
Said
years
it
old.
right. Look at
Criminal
it.
history includes a 2013 drug manufacturing conviction. The white Hyundai Palisade with Florida plates proves harder to trace. It appears briefly, picks up one of Horney's associates, then vanishes into the night.
Into
By
the
noon
night.
on October 16th, something unusual happens. The phone tips start coming. Not 1 or 2, dozens. I saw who was in that car. I know where they went after. Check this Instagram story
He's
from
telling
last night.
everything, ain't he?
Commander Ford would later say he'd never seen this level of community cooperation. Maybe because Betty Averitt and Jacqueline Mahalik weren't targets. Maybe because killing
Probably why.
grandmothers and
Probably
mothers crosses a line
Probably
even
why.
street code won't defend. October 17th.
Pittsburgh be
J.
giving
Lone
it up,
Hines is
don't they? All the
arrested at
info.
UPMC Presbyterian, still recovering from his leg wound. He's charged with 2 counts of criminal homicide for Betty Averitt and Jacqueline Mahalik's deaths.
There you go.
October 18th. U.S. Marshals find Sharon Troutman. The 19-year-old was in the
Sharon,
Hyundai's
what?
passenger seat.
Sharon.
Ballistics will match his gun to bullets that killed John Hornizes Jr. But arrests don't stop what's coming, because on Pittsburgh's
Ladies
north
and
side,
gentlemen,
justice and revenge wear the same
got 'em.
face. October 20th. The Hornizes family meets with funeral
You bragging
director
about
to
it
plan
right here,
John's
bro.
service. They choose Destiny of Faith Church on Brighton Road, a place of peace, a
Goofy?
sanctuary. That same
Goofy
day,
number 2.
the threats begin. Text messages, social media posts quickly deleted,
And they
words whispered
poppin'.
on street corners. The message is clear. John Hornizes Jr.'s funeral won't be peaceful. October 26th.
And they even
The
told
family
him.
formally requests police protection for the service. Pittsburgh Public Safety approves the request. 2 officers will be
As
assigned.
well as they should.
The funeral is in 48 hours. Approves the request. 2 officers will be assigned.
2.
The funeral is in 48.
2. Do they know these boys got switches? Dracos? Glock 19, Glock 43, got all these different shit, and you got 2 guards.
Hours. October 27th. The officers
See how the
received
cops
their
do us?
assignment, but somewhere between dispatch and deployment,
Wrong
wires cross.
address.
The address they're given, a funeral home 3 blocks from the church. October 28th, 7 a.m.
Man.
Officers arrive at the funeral home.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm probably gonna have to have my funeral reception somewhere else. You know, I'm gonna give a date and then see if the cops could be there, see if they show up. Then I'm gonna have my funeral at another date, maybe even in another town.
Empty parking lot, no activity.
You know what I mean?
They radio dispatch. No funeral scheduled at this location. Stand by, comes the response. The officers wait. Check again at 8 a.m. Still nothing. At 8:45, they leave. Meanwhile, 3 blocks away, mourners begin arriving at Destiny of Faith Church. Paige Davis, John's godmother, notices immediately. No police presence. Where are the officers?
God.
She asks funeral staff.
Oh,
they
Lord.
should be here, someone responds. We
Look at
requested
him.
them.
He bipped
10
up. You
a.m.
know he
the
got
hearse
his.
arrives. Still
You know
no
he's
police.
sticked up.
11 a.m. 300 mourners fill the church. Gospel music
300.
plays. Prayers begin, and outside, multiple shooters take positions.
Oh,
the security
no,
camera at
run!
the church entrance
Look at my
records
man in the
everything.
white.
Timestamp 12:02
He's like,
p.m.
"Lord."
A figure in dark clothing appears at the corner, then another, then more.
Man, what?
Inside, the
Hell
service
yeah.
continues. The pastor speaks about forgiveness, about breaking cycles of violence,
They
about
came
young
in.
lives lost too soon.
He jumped.
Outside,
He about to knock the thing over, man. He jumped right over that bitch.
fingers rest on triggers. 12:04 p.m. The
There they
shooting
come.
begins. What happens when a community asks for protection and receives
There
none?
they come.
When officers go to the wrong address while killers go to the right one? When a sacred space becomes a shooting gallery?
It's crazy,
Pittsburgh is
man.
about to find
It's
out.
crazy.
12:04
And the
p.m.
thing is,
October
we ain't even
28th.
seen nothing
The first
yet.
shot cracks through Brighton Heights air.
Ow!
Inside Destiny of Faith Church, 300 mourners
Hey,
freeze.
Dip.
Was that a car backfiring?
Oh,
Then comes the second shot, the third, then automatic fire. The church security camera captures figures running.
don't
Multiple
get the pony.
shooters, different
Don't get the
positions.
pony.
This isn't random, it's coordinated.
He gone.
5
He
shots.
gone.
Pause. 15 more in rapid succession. Outside, 6 people fall. Blood spreads across church steps where minutes ago mourners hugged and shared memories. Inside, panic. Bodies hit the floor, this time from fear, not prayer. Mothers
Hey,
throw themselves
no
over
dang
children.
way.
The elderly crouch behind pews. Someone screams, they're shooting at the church. The pastor's microphone picks up his words. Get down, everyone down. Video from inside shows the chaos. A casket abandoned at the altar. Funeral programs scattered like confetti. A child's shoe left behind as families run for exits that might lead to death. The shooting lasts 90 seconds. 90 seconds to
They probably
violate
saying,
everything
man, we
sacred.
about to air this
90
bitch
seconds to
out.
prove nowhere is safe. Then silence. Then sirens. Police arrive to a scene they failed to prevent. 6 wounded outside.
Well, they
1 in
only had
critical
2
condition.
people there.
Inside,
And I didn't even see
traumatized
'em.
mourners who came to
Like-
bury one victim of gun violence and almost became victims themselves. The image that haunts Pittsburgh.
It's
Uniformed
crazy,
officers carrying John Hornezes Jr.'s casket to the hearse. The funeral he couldn't have in peace.
Wonder if they got
The
the
protection
horse.
that never came. Rob Dennis, standing near the church afterward, tells reporters, "You see how quiet it is now? It's always quiet like this. This doesn't happen here." But it did happen. At a
Shit.
church. During a funeral.
man.
In broad daylight. If not at church, then where? If not during final goodbyes, then when? If men with guns will shoot up a funeral, what boundary remains?
Right.
2 hours after the church shooting, police arrest Sean Davis, 19. By evening, a 16-year-old joins him
They
in custody.
brothers. They
Both
look
face
like
attempted
brothers
homicide
anyway.
charges. The investigation reveals what everyone already knows. Retaliation for October 15th, which was retaliation for something before that,
Yep.
which was retaliation for something else.
And it's been, you know, these people have been battling since the 80s, and they don't even know what they battling for anymore. You know, they don't even know anymore. That's the sad part. They don't even know what they fighting for.
Cycle spinning so fast nobody remembers who started it. November 2nd. More arrests in the Cedar Avenue case, but some charges won't stick. January 2023.
Somebody got
Homicide
off.
charges dropped against Sharon Troutman and Samuel Pegas. They still face conspiracy and weapons charges. The families speak. LaRonda
How'd they get
Avery,
out of it?
Betty's daughter.
They
Please lay
told.
down your arms.
That's how
it
they-
harms the city, the world, it hurts.
Do y'all agree with that? Let me know in the comments if you agree with that. If they involved in it, should they just because they told first, should they be able to get off?
Bridget Mahalik, Jacqueline's mother, her children will still live their lives without her. The statistics tell one story. 2022, Pittsburgh matches 2021's homicide rate by October.
Wow.
But numbers don't capture empty chairs at Sunday dinner. Numbers don't explain to children why mommy isn't coming home. Mayor
Exactly.
Gainey keeps appearing at crime scenes. Keep making speeches. This has
Exactly.
to stop,
That's what it's
he
all
says.
about right there.
But the streets have their own momentum, their own laws, their own terrible logic where shooting up a funeral makes sense to someone somewhere. Thank you for watching.
I ain't gonna lie, man. If someone had my family member or something like that, I'd probably be the same way, man. But that's gonna do it for us today, guys, man. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments section what you thought about what you just witnessed. Let me know. Let me know if there was ever a point in your life that you could probably do some of this stuff that you saw. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.